Warm greetings from the high 10, everybody. I'm Angela Logan, and this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. It is Monday, November 18th, 2019. We'd like to bring you an update in the Ibrahim Yazeed case, and it reads as follows. Okay, news companies seek to lift gag order in Ibrahim Yazeed trial. Multiple Alabama media outlets are seeking to have the gag order lifted in the case against the man accused of kidnapping Anaya Blanchard. The motion was filed Monday afternoon, citing protection of First Amendment civil rights of the parties, press, and public. The request was filed on behalf of more than a dozen media outlets or companies, including Gray Media Group, the Montgomery Advertiser, the Alabama Press Association, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and the Radio Television Digital News Association. Ibrahim Yazeed, 29, is charged with kidnapping in Blanchard's October 23rd disappearance in Auburn, Alabama. The gag order was issued during the first court appearance. A rare Sunday hearing held November 10th. Media was barred from that hearing. Yazeed was ordered held without bond because of what prosecutors said was an extensive history of violent criminal offenses, and because he fled Alabama after he was publicly identified as a suspect in Blanchard's disappearance. Lee County DA says Montgomery's leniency allowed Ibrahim Yazeed to kidnap Anaya Blanchard. It was also during that hearing that a gag order was issued by Lee County District Judge Russell Bush. It precludes lawyers, witnesses, and potential witnesses from making any statements to members of the media or directly discussing their involvement in this case or any current or future trial proceedings with members of the media. This includes, but is not limited to, interviews with reporters representing media outlets as well as publication or posting on social media. The gag order could hamper the ongoing search for Blanchard, the media companies argued. The whereabouts of the alleged victim is still unknown, and the gag order would prohibit communications with the media intended to try and seek their assistance in learning the whereabouts of the victim or in encouraging potential witnesses to her whereabouts to come forward. The motion filed by the companies also states the gag order is unconstitutionally overbroad. Anaya Blanchard's family speaks to Dr. Field, suspect receiving death threats, attorney says. An extremely broad gag order is required by the interest of justice, does not begin to meet the high burden required to warrant such drastic actions by this court, nor to narrowly tailor the order, wrote media attorney Dennis Bailey. Also on Monday, Yazeed's attorney filed a motion requesting that a court reporter be assigned to a preliminary hearing set for Wednesday, noting that Yazeed is charged with a Class A felony and law enforcement continues to investigate the defendant, possibly to charge him with capital murder. It is important to the integrity of the proceedings in all pending cases and investigations against this defendant that evidence presented at the preliminary hearing be recorded verbatim. According to Blanchard's family, Yazeed has not provided police any leads into her whereabouts. His preliminary hearing is set for November 20th. A gag order has been issued in the case. Therefore, lawyers and police are not allowed to discuss any aspect of Blanchard's disappearance or Yazeed's arrest, including where the investigation and search for Blanchard stands. Okay. Now, as you see, there's a gag order. Media outlets have an attorney representing them to seek to get that lifted. Because, hey, they want to be able to ask questions and see the status of the case. And I understand that because the young lady is still missing, and the public has a right to be able to hear and know things about the case. But as you see, as I have told you all on this channel, that the police decides when and where and what to reveal. And now the judge made a decision that, hey, nothing will be revealed, I guess, as to not taint the legal procedure and the proceedings of Mr. Yazeed going to court. But we already know that most people have probably already heard of this case, so it's just up to the attorneys to decide when it's time to pick a jury or whatever, whom they will pick and hope that they're picking the right parties to stand on the jury panel. Now, as you know, in the Patrick Stallworth and Dericka Brown capital murder case, there is also a gag order in that case, and police and attorneys are not to discuss any information pertaining to the capital murder case. And I also wanted to give you all an update pertaining to Miss Dericka Brown. She does have a court appointment next year, September 8th, 2020, in um, regards to her first kidnapping case that she inquired last summer. It is pertaining to her children, that she kidnapped her children from a foster home, which happened to be a family member's home, and she held the person at gunpoint and stole her children, took her children rather, or whichever word you like to use, and went on a high-speed chase. Children were not harmed, but she was arrested in that case. She was freed, and next year, here she is now being gotten arrested for the kidnap and murder of Camille McKinney. So that is an update on Miss Dericka Brown. She does have a court date next year, September 8th, 2020, in the kidnapping of her children. Just a reminder to you guys. And as I stated, there is a gag order in this case of she and Mr. Stallworth for capital murder, as is a gag order has been ensued in the case of with Mr. Yazeed and the disappearance of Anaya Blanchard. What I want to say before I get off of here is that I'm seeing a lot of tag team type crimes that have been transpiring lately in this country, and I think it is ridiculous that people are talking other people into committing crimes with them. Why anyone would go along with a robbery, beating, murder of another person, kidnapping, or whatever is crazy to me. I don't understand what's going on. I don't even understand first one person wanting to exact a crime of such against another innocent party, but then to go and invite someone else or ask someone else to join in, it is vile. It is so vile, because here we are as civilians walking around minding our business, and now we have to look out for more than one party. You see, now we have to look out for 2 or 3 people. You see, so much for the boogeyman. But the boogeyman has friends. And that is the world that we live in now. So you all have to be very careful when you are out here going about your daily runs in the world, your daily errands. There are vicious and vile people out here, and they do not mind harming you. And they have a wicked spirit about them. Because, see, you couldn't be human to want to rob and kidnap and murder someone, and then bring your friends and cohorts in tow. And I mention this because of the case in Atlanta with the university student who was found dead by the hands of a boyfriend of her roommate. I believe they are saying that the roommate was also involved in the murder. And it was something about him making a pass at the young lady, the deceased. I have not divulged that case, so I don't want to start giving details of something that I have not fully investigated. But I'm bringing this up to you all because of that case in Atlanta, Georgia, to show you that, one, you do not know people. I have said this 1,000 times. I'll say it to young people specifically because younger people tend to hook up with people, hang around different types of people, and think that they are their friends or their homeboys, homegirls. Everybody is not your friend, you see. Okay? And in a roommate situation, I do not know how cool they were or not. Obviously, there was no respect there for this child to end up dead. Okay? No matter what happened between the 3 parties, it should not have ended in death. That was a vile thing to do to that young lady, as so in the other cases that we hear in the news. But I say this to the young people, especially. You have to be very careful of the company you keep, the people you hang around with, even the people that you date, because you don't know the mindset of others. Okay? Young people are more eager to get involved with people and hang with people, to be seen, to be heard, to be liked. But sometimes you have to learn to stand on your own account and realize you do not need validation from people. Okay? And I'm just shooting straight from the hip tonight because I think that's sad that that child ended up dead because of some mess that went on with that roommate's boyfriend, an allegation made against him. It's from what I've heard earshot. But as I said, I have not fully investigated that case. I didn't bring that case here because I've talked so much about Camille and Miss Blanchard, and then now the child missing out of Jacksonville, Florida. It just seems so redundant and sickening that all these people are going missing and found deceased, dumped as trash. And it just gets old to me, to have to bring another story of a deceased person, missing or deceased person. But I realize some of you are interested in those stories. But as I had said before, when I started this platform on here, I talked about various cases, and all of them were not pertaining to death. Shenanigans, more or less, from said parties, but not death. But I thank you all for following and listening. I really appreciate it, my new subscribers. But this is just something I wanted to put out here, that we now have people out here joining in with other people exacting crimes against civilians. So it is no longer just one person out seeking to harm you. Okay? You have people now talking and getting in cahoots with other people to rob you, beat you, and may even murder you. You see, and we now know, or I'll speak for myself, I now know why they would kill a person, you see, because they don't need a witness. They don't want to leave anyone behind that can testify against them because they know they will be charged for each count of the act. Okay? Kidnapping brings a charge, the beating brings a charge, and God forbid murder, that brings another charge. And they know 9 times out of 10, if they're caught, even the murder, they're going to get a lot of time. But they're not thinking about that when they kill the person. They don't think they'll get caught. They kill you initially because they don't want you to talk. So I'm just telling you all to be careful out here. The holidays are coming up. Everyone needs to be mindful of their surroundings, mindful of the people that they take up with. Be careful out here, ladies especially, going and coming to your cars, to work, because we have sick people out here. And we now have tag team criminals who have more than one person. So you see, the boogeyman has now decided to bring his friends along for the ride. Stay safe out there. Mind your children. And thanks for watching. Subscribers, friends, thanks a lot. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.